Hey guys, it's Marine Veteran again. Last video that you watched took over all of the basics within how to get started within live streaming, from downloading OBS to checking your network speed and everything else. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add sources and actually create a couple scenes as well as a stinger transition if you want a little bit more flair, so to speak, within your live stream. On top of that, I'm going to show you how to add docs and how to basically essentially multi-stream without the need to utilize restream.io. And I'll show you what restream is as well in this video. So sit back, relax, and follow along. Okay, so I've already loaded up OBS. You followed along with inputting the different sources such as display capture, video capture device, window capture, game capture, and your two audio input and output sources. Now, from here, I'm going to create another scene where I have all the sources and show you how to put all that in one area so you don't have a bunch of sources, kind of running rampant. On top of that, I'm going to show you how to go through and put some docs in for your chat docs, your moderation area, if you want to go through and take care of that. But mainly what I do is I utilize the chat docs to help me and better moderate my channel whenever my mods are, asleep during the night or if they're just taking care of personal stuff. I'm effective enough to where I can moderate my channel decently and only call in, the reinforcements if I really need them. So from here, to create a new scene, click the plus and you just name it whatever you want. It's going to bring you to a blank area where there are no sources whatsoever. From here, and if this does not work, I do apologize in advance, but things don't want to work all the time on this PC because it's kind of old, but it's still running good. On here, we're going to add all of our sources into one scene, and then we're going to add this scene into our sources. So as you can see here, we have application audio, which is a beta format, audio input and audio output capture, which you've added on your main scene. You have your browser source, which I'll show you for alerts and stuff. Your color source to change the different color hue. Your display capture, game capture, image slideshow. If you have multiple images, you can put them in a slideshow. But you would have to have that folder directory in for that slideshow, or else it will not work. You have that folder in as the source. It'll go through and just rotate the slides one after another. You have an NDI source, which there are videos on that. I'm not going to touch on that. You got your text GDI source, which if you want to put something up on the screen, you just put whatever, and that this is a taco. And then from there, if you want to change the font, change it to however you want, and then it'll change Intel. Let's just scroll down. It will go to freestyle script. Boom. Now to delete it, you got two ways of doing it. You can click the little remove, or you can click on it and hit your delete key and hit enter, or right click and then you'll see right click on the source and you'll see where it says remove source. Yeah. So from here, we're gonna work on adding a camera. If it doesn't load up, I'll give you a workaround on how to do it in the for the purpose of this tutorial. On top of that, I'm going to show you how to add browser sources from Streamlabs OBS, or from, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Mix It Up, which I highly recommend if you're on Twitch or Trovo, and YouTube, and the Caffeinated Bot, if it's up and running. I don't know how their servers have been. Been a while since I've touched on it, and also Botrix as well. Botrix has a multitude of different outputs, and it's very, very important that you understand what platform you want that to be pushed out to. So from here, we're going to try to add the camera, so bear with me for a moment. We're going to click on add the source, go to video capture device. I'm going to name this one camera. On here, let's see if it's going to work this time. And it's not. But on here, you would find what camera you want to essentially coordinate with you on whatever camera you want. Like the one that you're seeing right here where my hand's going back and forth, that would be my HDA webcam USB. I have an AverMedia one, which is to my right, which I was really hoping to use. And let's see if I can switch the input. No, it does not want to work. Yay. Tech issues. If there's a little joke going, if you're not a streamer if you don't have tech issues, which is 100% true. All right. Now, I know it's not really wanting to load up or, showcase anything of that, and I do apologize. However, if I was doing this without two instances of OBS up, which is how I'm able to record this, because I have things on my main scene that I kind of don't want to mess with because they're set in a way for the best utilization. But for this, we'll do it like this. I'll close that up, minimize that, and then so that I get the correct input. Now, as you can tell, if you're curious what I did, there's a little eyeball here. I click this and like click the eyeball. If it's like shown, it'll bring up that source visibility. If you don't want it shown, you just click the essentially the line. If you click the eyeball, it'll be a line through. So from here, video capture device, video capture. We're just gonna go from here, and we'll just utilize the same one. If it doesn't want to work and you already have that camera, you can just Control B. Now, what do you know? I just delete that one, live camera control, and V. Now there are two instances, and I can sit here and play around with either one. Let's see if one of them actually wants to change to the live camera. Nope. Fine. And keep in mind until you change the wording on one of them, the other one will register as the same input. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this and bring up the other instance of OBS. And we are going to continue with what we were working on. So as you can tell, I'm going to move this over to meow. So it's not, going through. As you can tell, the camera source is added, but not really visible because I have two instances of OBS. It doesn't really want to cooperate with me today. Some ungodly reason. I don't know why. For your media source, this is for your overlays, or if you have any type of video, you want to find that file. And if you want it just to go for the first time where it doesn't play, do not click loop. You can mess with the speed and everything else in here as well. Like just essentially going from there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to try to find my overlay, which is a video source. It's an MP format. Things. It where things it. So from here, you'll see this little bar going. If I do this, it'll show. And actually, this was a old starting soon. So let me change that so you can see camera frame itself. So I have a WebM file. And you'll recognize this whenever you see it on the stream. This is essentially at the very bottom center of where my camera is at. And like if I wanted to adjust the speed of it, I would move this up. And as you can tell, the moment that I click OK, it's going to go very, very fast. That 200 speed, which decreases the overall time and everything else. So go ahead and shrink. Oh, I forgot to hit loop. Just like I was saying. Let's shrink this down about right there. Now, if you want a still photo, just add an image. And we'll go ahead and I will just add let's see. Oh, we'll add the Poggers logo. But, you know, let's say you want this to be a little transparent. Just blow this up a little. We'll go to filters, and then from here, we'll add a color key. If you want this, if you want it transparent to where it's, you know, a watermarker, bring the opacity almost down to 0, where where you can barely see it. It's also good practice to take your logo and place it somewhere on your stream in one of the 4 corners, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, where you know, so nobody can take your content. You have your logo on top in one of those 4 corners or somewhere where it's easily identifiable, and somebody's using your content, you can argue that no, I am the originator of this. Here's my watermarker. That's how a lot of people save their. That's how a lot of people save their careers. But for the sake of this, I'm just using something company that I'm affiliated with and everything else. I'm not going to do a plug because if you want more information, swing by the channel or take a look below. I'll have the plug there in the description. I'm not going to sit there and go use. Oh, hey, go to here, use this. No, that's not the purpose of this video. However, the purpose of this video is to show you different ways to add different sources. So for now, we have the image source, which is the Poggers logo. We have the media source, which is the animated overlay, and we have the camera source. One more that I like to utilize, not necessarily the slideshow, but it's the browser source. And this is where we get into the different areas on. Now, I will have tutorial videos later on that show how to set up Mix It Up because it's a little different than just going from than just, you know, creating an account and everything else, because you have to link your accounts. But for this, we are going to utilize Stream Elements. Now, I recommend Stream Elements over Streamlabs because you don't need a premium account for custom alerts. But for the sake of this, I'll show you how to do Stream Elements, Streamlabs, and Botrix, where to get the overlays, like the overlay link, and how to add them. Log in with wherever you want. I'm going to click log in with YouTube, and I'm going to click mine. It's going to recognize that my account, and because I utilize Botrix or Kick, I'm going to click on settings. From here, on the right hand side, I am going to click widgets. And then I'm going to go to, where'd it go? Oh, not widgets, it's alerts. Excuse me. I'm going to go to alerts. This widget URL, I will show you where to put in a second. Keep this in mind. There's a widget URL that you need to identify for every single one. So for subscriptions, get the subs, followers, raids, tips, or if you're an LLC or a company, donate, and they have not rolled out kicks yet. All of these play a different factor. We're Streamlabs. We're just gonna log in with Twitch. I'm not gonna deal with too much on anything because just logging in with Twitch is a lot easier. And I'm gonna just click out wherever. On here, we're gonna go to alert box, and you see there's a widget URL once again for everything, and then stream elements. Again, I'm logging in with Twitch. This is where things get a little interesting, where I personally like stream elements over the others. We're gonna remind later. We're gonna go to streaming tools and overlays. Now these are past different items that I used to have and everything else. On here, we're just gonna start from scratch. We're gonna go new overlay. Gonna bring up all this, keep it at 1080p. You're going to notice, and I'm gonna move the camera up to the top right, or top left, excuse me, where you can start building. Click add widget, and we're just gonna go with alerts. We're gonna go with alert box. This way you have your follower alerts and everything else from there. This is why I prefer stream elements versus the others, because you have complete control out of everything. Click alert box, and to keep all this like such, you can see there's the copy URL, overlay URL. But before you do that, make sure you click save. And we're just gonna put this as alert 1. We're gonna copy the URL. Now I bring up the URL specifically for a reason. Depending on what you are using is dependent on the browser sources. So for here, we're gonna go stream element, alert, and that URL. Highlight the entirety of it and paste it. Refresh when source becomes available or becomes active. Click OK. And you can shrink or have this up as much as you want. I'm going to add another browser source, and we're going to go Stream Labs alerts. We're going to go back to where we were, and we're going to copy that widget URL. And we're going to paste it. We're going to go down here, refresh when source becomes active. And we're going to move this one down to about here. We're going to grab the stream elements, move this one to about the right-hand side. Now that we have Stream Labs and Stream Elements, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to add the kick alert box and everything else. So as before, you'll notice that there is a widget URL. Instead of clicking here, because it will show what the URL is, we're going to click copy. This is for everything that you see here. Your subscriptions, tip/donate, followers, rates, kicks, gifted subs, etc. Just like before, we're going to click the plus sign on the source, and we're going to name this one Kick Alerts. Or, I'm sorry, Botrix Alerts. Might help if I can actually, highlight things and then paste them correctly. Scroll down, refresh browser whenever scene becomes active. Click OK, and you have your Botrix alert, you have a Stream Elements alert, and your Streamlabs. But to really test out which one is doing what, we're gonna move this over. We're gonna move this to about right here. So from here, let's test it. It'll send it, and you can see. And let's see if there's any audio with it.
Run.
So that is the submit. These are my others. I logged into Botrix on my account. We're gonna go and click followers. Wait for it to go through. And let's test the raids. Now for Streamlabs, we're gonna test follower. And yes, like these are all gonna be loud, so bear in mind. We're gonna test subs. It's all the same MLG horn until everything else. Bits, obviously the default bit. So as you can tell, the alerts are working. We're gonna go raids. Like I said, all these are the default alerts. We're gonna go into here on stream elements. And what we are gonna do is we are going to mute the audio in the editor. And then we're gonna move this back over towards yeah. Like this. There we go. So here's the stream elements alert. And let's emulate a follower event. The stream elements has a really clean, crisp, basic follower, or basic alert. We're gonna go test the sub, and as you can tell, each one has its own different item associated with it, with its own color, with everything else. We're gonna go with the tip, and it'll bring up the the stuff like that. Now all these are just tests; these don't affect me whatsoever. Let me go 5K here. You'll see it pop up as well. When you hear the audio and you see the video, that's telling you that the alerts are active, especially are working perfectly fine, especially within your OBS. So from there, we're gonna minimize that. We're gonna maximize this. Now, if you're curious on how to multi-stream and everything from there and utilize the alerts to your advantage, keep in mind Twitch has their own stuff that you have to go through and follow whenever it comes to the multi-streaming aspect. However, I foresee that possibly changing. I'm not 100% sure. It's just what I'm able to notice. There's an area where you can go to known as restream.io. From here, sign up for free and go from there. I'm going to go ahead and log in. It registers. Oh, continue. Thank you. And from here, you can see how I have the destinations. This right here will allow you to add at least 2 to 3 areas that have an RTMP URL for free. But if you're streaming to a multitude of sites, this will not work to the area that you want it to work to. As long as you have an account with any of the areas here, such as Steam, and I've streamed to Steam, like it's an interesting area to stream to. I might actually start throwing that into there if things can get connected within the output that I have thing for my chats connected to, which is Axel Chat. As you can see, this little play button down here. This one is very useful, and I'll show you where to get that as well. Major League Gaming, Africa, D Live, TikTok, LinkedIn, Kick, Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube, X, etc. You connect each destination where you want to, and you're able to go through and do so. However, the more you add, the more than likely you're going to have to pay at some point. However, there is another area where you can go to that kind of mitigates that, and that is the multiple output. What was it? The not necessarily link, but I can't even think. But we'll do this. We'll go ahead and OBS plugin. That's what I was looking for. OBS plugin. So once you head here and you'll see the multiple RTMP outputs plugin. Click there. Go to download. You'll install it. You'll get the GitHub, especially from right here. Why it's this? No, that is not correct. I do apologize. Go to download and find the GitHub. Is it for OBS 30.00 or 30.0.0? You see where it says extract OBS folder and scroll all the way down. Multiple RTMP, Windows x64 installer exe. You're going to click that, you're going to download it and place it inside your OBS folder. From there, you're going to restart OBS. Now, as soon as you have things downloaded and installed, you'll notice how I have the this thing called docs. I want the multiple output dock selected so that you could drag it to an area where you can have it easily accessible if you're adding a new target. And from here, like let's say you want to add Twitch. You add new target, just like I showed you in the first video. Find what your RTMP server is, find what your URL is. If you want to sync it with OBS, as soon as you click start, it'll start all of them like that. It's how I'm able to effectively start every single channel from Twitch, Trovo, Kick, Rumble, SharePlay, and LiveSpace, all six at the same time. I have it clicked with sync start with OBS. You can delay that start time with anything from there and essentially start it at your own pace, but that's up to you if you want to. For your encoder, I would honestly keep it get from OBS so that it's very, 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 very easy. And as always, rename the or give the name of the output that you're going to so you can keep up with whatever it is. I'm not gonna click modify on any of these because I don't want my stream key being shown on this recording. If you want to get rid of it, click delete and go from there. If you want to start all at at some point, if you don't have all of them selected as as an output, click start all, or you can individually start each one. Now, key factor to remind that to keep in mind, every single output that you are pushing to will get the same bit rate from your OBS. So if you're at 6,000 bit rate, it's going to push that stream out at 6,000 6,000 kilobytes per second. It's going to push that out at 6K. If you do not have the network speed, utilize Restream. This is the only time I'll tell you, if you do not have that network speed to push out more than two areas at the same time, especially if you're under 10 meg, utilize Restream. The way to get Restream to factor in on here is it's literally on your service. Create your account, click Restream, connect account. Log in, utilizing everything. Do not use don't utilize the stream key, or you're gonna have an even further delay. Restream service is actually very, very, very valuable if you're streaming to 2 or 3 areas at the same time that have those destinations. Only time that I'll mention utilizing Restream. Plus, it has an integrated chat. However, chat's being sent from Twitch to all the other platforms. It does not have what's known as a relay chat. However, from Kick to Twitch, Trovo to Twitch, YouTube to Twitch, etc., they will all that's all integrated. But do not have the integration from Twitch to the other different areas. So keep that in mind if you're wanting to use Restream. And as you've seen before, you'll notice I have different chat docs up here. To add the different chat docs on your channels and such, you'll want to be in your chat. And I'm gonna head to my channel real quick. We're just gonna go to Kick. Okay. I'm gonna click chat. Find your settings and find out your pop out chat. Select the URL. Control C for copy. Close that now. Minimize it. Go to docs, custom browser doc. And as you can tell, I have different docs available for each one. From here, I'm just going to label it chat one. Hit tab, paste, and then before you click apply, click down one. This way it adds it. Once you click apply, this chat will become available and you can dock it wherever you feel comfortable. Normally, don't worry about anything on there. And then if you want to test it, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I guess it wants to actually have me log in. Okay. Uh, Gotta love it. Let me go ahead and get this. Like, reason why I don't like doing reason why I don't like doing more than one take on things is this allows you to see things in real time. Why are allows you to see how things are, how things go. Most times people will do multiple different takes. I don't. Then paste that. Apply. And we'll dock it here. Good. 1, 2, 3. And as you can tell, the chat itself, I'm in here. Now, if you want to go ahead and test see where this went on and fired away, what you need to do is just go back to your channel and it'll show. The same thing. If you want to see if it's got a response, just type in, whatever and see where the chat is. Now, this is why I like utilizing chat docs because it gives you better moderation over your channel. Let's say somebody's coming in and being extremely toxic on, we'll say, Kick or Twitch or even Trovo. Being logged in onto the chat doc allows you to easily monitor your chat and also moderate things as well. So if anything, you can delete anything right then and there without having the need to swap, different displays and everything else and having to delete the messages. So that's how I manage, a multitude of different areas. Now, the last area that I'm going to tell you on if you're multi-streaming and multi-outputting is going to be the Axel Chat plugin. So search Axel Chat, AXEL Chat, very first one. Download Axel Chat, log in, follow along with whatever you need and whatever items you have an account with, and you can see down here it'll show you which ones it's connected with. And if you're ever curious as to which one it's supported with, you just scroll down. It'll go Twitch, YouTube, Trovo, Good Game, etc. But it does not have support for some of these. So don't be too surprised if what you're trying to do it doesn't populate on what you want to be showing up. Once you get it downloaded, go ahead and launch the application. I'm gonna drag it over here so you can. And for your connections, as you can tell, Rumble's not connected on here. However, I'm not too worried about it. For connections, you right click and you select whichever one you want. For Twitch, for Trovo, it's mainly for Twitch. You log in, Trovo, you paste the channel, you copy your channel name, paste there. Kick, same thing. Rumble, it is the exact URL of the stream that you have up. For D Live, it's going to be your channel name. Odyssey, Good Game, VK Play, VK Video, WASD, RooTube, Telegram, Discord, all of these different items that you can find with these. And YouTube, same thing with Rumble. Going to be the stream link or broadcast ID for your chat. This will allow you for better aspects and better moderation across the board. Because if you are streaming to like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 areas at the same time, it's very, very, very easy to lose track if you don't have something like this. I recommend Actual Chat so that you can easily monitor your channels. And for Caffeinated, I wish I could show you, but their servers are not, or the app itself isn't wanting to cooperate. I will go over Mix It Up in another video, but aside from that, it is mainly chat docs and sources. Now, I did mention earlier with adding all of this as one source within, so you're not bogging down a plethora of different items. And you can see what I did. I right clicked, I clicked or I highlighted over add and clicked, and I have scene selected. This will allow you to take whatever scene you have different items in and add them to your main. This way, you don't essentially bog down everything. And I know I need to do that on my main, but I don't feel like copying and pasting and copying and pasting and copying and pasting, checking off each browser source, each video source, each media source, and everything like that. For me, it's just simpler for me to keep it the way it is. However, for this, I would recommend you do that. This way, it's nice and clean, and you don't have something like if you've ever seen my live feed with all the sources I have, it's a little chaotic. If you want to sit there and put a color on it so that it's easily identifiable, or something like that, you can put a set color on there. Like, there's so much with an OBS you can do. So again, this is essentially as easy as it gets within setting up sources and all the other stuff. Now, for your transitions, like your stingers, excuse me, if you want to add a custom, we'll say video, we'll see the duration in milliseconds. You want to add a custom one, click the plus sign and click stinger. On here, excuse me, on here, this is where you would find, like, this is where you'll put your video file. Way it's nice and clean and everything, and all the other stuff. And if I can find mine, which I don't think I'm easily able to find. So what I'll do is I'll just utilize something very, 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 very easy. So from here, There we go. You'll see it. You'll see the scene come through. It'll showcase, something, and then it'll go through and everything else. Stinger transitions allow for an easier way for you to get set up for. Let's say you're switching from something that involves you with a camera, looking at your mouse and keyboard, to let's say console gameplay. Well, that gives you time to grab your console, just load up your Xbox, PlayStation, Wii, etc., whatever, and being able to go from there. Or you going from console to a racing game with the steering wheel. The longer the duration of the Stinger, the more time you have for that. But I recommend the Stinger not being longer than 1 to 2 seconds tops. I'm I know this one took a little bit, especially if we click on here again. Gonna take at least 5 to 7 seconds, which is understandable, but this is just used for, this tutorial. If you want your transition to be, something else, such as fade, where you essentially just fade away and you bring it back up to whatever. Go ahead and do this, where it just fades away, or where you go cut, and then it just goes quick and fast. So Stinger, delete that one. Yes. And the longer the time on the milliseconds, the slower it will be. But for the most part, uh, it's very, very, very simple, very effective. You can add so many things within everything. Like OBS is yours to play around with, and it's by far one of the best things that I can recommend anybody use within their journey. If you found this video helpful, I know it's a little bit all over the place and sporadic and everything else. Um, do me a favor, click that like button. If you want more videos, click the subscribe. I will have another video up later on about Mix It Up and how to go through and set commands and all the other stuff. Same thing with Mix It Up, bot tricks, and Stream Elements. I don't utilize Streamlabs except for charity donations and stuff like that for Stack Up and Wounded Warrior, but that's all through Tiltify. But yeah, if you want information in regards to Poggers, the information's below. If you want information where you can catch me live at any point in time throughout the week, that information is below. Again, I gratefully appreciate everybody who tuned in. And as always, I'll catch y'all later. That'll be cool.